Good morning. I had a baby win for my processing last night. I was having a really hard PTSD night last night, and my intrusive thoughts were just fucking battling. And this is how I shut them down. Like a toddler, when a toddler's like, I want to play in the cat litter box! And you go, here's your Legos. That's what I did to my brain last night, and I was able to get some rest. I'm trying to develop my process, and you can't, like a mad scientist, I was up all night, and you can tell. But this is screen print transfer paper. And given my situation that there's one person on my workforce and very little finances and room for error in my budget, I decided that I would hand make screen print transfers with Plastisol ink. And so when I get a screen dirty, I'm only getting it dirty like the once. So I'm like cleaning the screen once, and I can set and get like a bunch of transfers ready and make sure that I like the quality of where the transfer laid or the ink laid and everything. So I was having some issues dialing it in. I mean like my pressure. So like you gotta think about like physics and science. So screen printing is intended to be squeegee, screen, ink, shirt, fill, flood, whatever the language is. And the ink is gonna go through the screen. Holy cow. He wants wet food. So I need you guys to buy some shirts. Anyways, so ink, screen, shirt, when you put that through, some of that ink actually presses into the shirt material, and then you cure it with heat. With the transfer, you add the ink to the page in a reverse, and you add this adhesion powder to it, and then you put it to the shirt. So last night I made 4 transfers, and I made the transfers beautifully. I probably should have used more of the transfer powder. Like I was not very careful in making sure where I got the transfer powder. I was just trying to, when autistics learn new processes, sometimes they kind of zoom through it and like put some building blocks in place to be able to go back and actually really learn the process. So this was the first one that I made with a transfer. And you see how it's messed up? It peeled. But you can see the bottom part. That one's good. That top part, it peeled. So I think I didn't have the adhesion powder completely on these shirts. So that was the first one I pressed. And I'm just working with extra stuff I have around. So this one did all right, except for some at the bottom. Do you see that pilling? I'm still gonna toss this in a bag to go to Bobby's, because Melissa, you can't really tell. If you paid for a shirt, you wouldn't receive something with pilling. I just don't want to waste. And I think she'd look hot in this color. So on to my next. So then I was like, okay, let's try it on black. And I did it on this one. This is heavy cotton. This isn't actually what I want to put my shirts on, because it's not as soft. But this one was the closest to perfect I got. Do you see at the beginning of owl? So I was that close, so then I was like, you know what? Let's swan dive into a nice shirt. And I didn't get this one right either, but the thing is when you make mistakes, you learn. So then, tomorrow, we are going to master this. process. And I am probably going to do it on live. No promises. Sometimes when I'm learning things like this, having friends around isn't as helpful as you think it would be. I'm going to get some coffee and I will check in with y'all later.